This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25. We hope you had a wonderful 4th of July Independence Day weekend. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. Yes, it is Tuesday, July 5th.
Well, one person is deceased and another transported to trauma and critical condition after being ejected from a vehicle that crashed and rolled Friday night on Lola Lane. The 13-year-old involved in this crash flew over a wall and into a shed in a nearby neighborhood. The male driver was pronounced deceased on scene after he was ejected from that car. Nevada Highway Patrol and Nye County Sheriff are conducting the investigation as to the cause of this tragedy.
Unfortunately, we had a fatal motor vehicle accident with another serious injury where a patient is in trauma. This was a high-speed rollover type mechanism. It appears that both of the occupants were ejected. The investigation is underway by NCSO as well as NHP, I believe, was here with their fatal team. A very difficult situation. Firefighters actually, had to searched for the second victim and found that person a distance away with significant injuries. And so there was a lot of pieces to this puzzle, and they were fast moving, and overall everyone did a good job, but it's just such a shame that this type of accident had to occur. Yeah, there were preliminary reports where there should have been 3 occupants of that vehicle. However, upon our investigation, we found that one had been dropped off at a store just prior to the accident. So then that just allowed us then to focus on the primary care and then scene support for the fatal aspect of it. There's a closely located manufactured dwelling park, and there was damage to the roof structures on several of the units there.
In more local news, a fire that started in a local hay business unfortunately quickly spread to nearby structures, including a home. Fire Chief Scott Lewis gives us details of that fire on Galley Road.
It was a hay business just off of Leslie, and this was in an area that had a high concentration of buildings and livestock. There was a hay storage building on the property which was well involved in fire upon arrival. Initially, it was undetermined exactly what was on fire. It was unclear whether it was a residence. There was thoughts that there might be 4 people trapped in the building as well as livestock on the property. As we arrived on location, we found wind-driven fire conditions, heavy fire showing, blowing across the roadway. We had immediate exposure, ground cover on the opposite side of the road. So this fire occurred in an area with no hydrants. Crews commenced the defensive exterior attack with a great amount of water in a very short period of time, knocked down the main body of fire, and then stretched multiple hand lines onto various areas of the property, protecting horse stalls, the primary residence, other outbuildings, things like that. And they did a really good job with that. What was lost was the initial area of origin, which was a hay barn, a closely located small trailer, and several horse stalls. There were no injuries to animals, and none of the occupants on the property were injured either. It really was intense. It was super hot. Obviously, it was wind-driven. It had a tremendous amount of fuel load, and the guys and gals just did an extraordinary job controlling that in such short fashion. Yes, they were actually were able to egress out of the house without issue. That was an immediate concern, was to protect that particular area of the property as well as the livestock, move the animals to the furthest point on the property away from the fire, and all that was done seamlessly. Several horses and a steer, and then small animals. I don't know the exact count. It's underway right now. It does not appear to be intentional. We're continuing investigation, and hopefully have an answer within the next week or so.
And Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue had a very busy weekend. 3 significant injuries resulted from fireworks.
So in addition to the commercial show, which was just an extraordinary show, and it seemed to be well appreciated by all of our attendees and our community, we did have some downsides to the fireworks. There was numerous calls for service for reported brush fires, a vehicle fire, and unfortunately, I just absolutely hate to report this, but there was 3 injuries, and they were all significant injuries from the use of fireworks. One was a burn victim that the contents of the pickup truck that person occupied caught on fire and caused injury. And then we have a report of two teenagers that has sustained significant trauma to upper extremities and face due to explosions from use of fireworks. The vehicle fire was just south of Petrick Park, or excuse me, west of Petrick Park, in the open fields.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the other incident appeared to have occurred down near the dry lake bed. And so those patients were subsequently flown to trauma.
One person is transported via Mercy Air to a Las Vegas trauma center following a crash on the highway this afternoon here in Pahrump.
One patient was transported via Mercy Air to a Las Vegas trauma center following a two-vehicle crash that occurred this afternoon on a Highway 160 and Homestead Road. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, and Nevada Highway Patrol arrived on scene. Auxiliary units diverted traffic around the scene. Highway 160 southbound traffic was closed, as well as Homestead Road, during the investigation and cleanup. Fire Chief Scott Lewis from Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue says that one other patient declined to be transported. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating.
So you were hard at work this Independence Day. How was the Freedom Fest?
I will tell you all about it right after we return from this break.
All right.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920.
Welcome back. Well, there's no other words to describe it except wow. The 50th annual Freedom Fest was a blast. Well, more than one blast.
I'm just glad that everybody, for the most part, from what I understand, enjoyed the show. So that's what matters. We had some slight hiccups, but hey, show went off, and I just hope that the crowd enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, actually, the finale. And this goes back to the Fall Festival time, we already knew that we wanted to kind of expand on that. So Fall Fest happened, and Jimmy approached me and said, hey, what would it take to make the show a little bit more bang? And I said, and I explained to him exactly, we collaborated back and forth. And I knew what we did from last year, so I said, okay. And I asked my dad, what do you think about this? Is this safe? He says, I think you'll be fine. So we put things together, we moved some numbers around. We got some things happening. Unfortunately, some costs went up, so we also had to, as well, I guess you could say, give back to the show. Yeah, we've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years, so not a problem at all, whatever we can do for the community. So, show was contracted to be 22.5 minutes. I believe, I don't even know where we ended up at the timers. I shut the timers off a while back, so. The funny part is, so I was going over the numbers, okay, and the exact number, 600 in the body, you have 480 4-inch in the body, you have 1,800 3-inch shells that went off, and then you have 450 4-inch shells that went off in the finale. That's not including the low-level devices, though. No, thank you guys in Nye County, town of Pahrump, people of Pahrump and all surrounding areas. Really appreciate you guys coming out.
And speaking of fun events, Linda Wright from the Holiday Task Force strikes again. Wright and her team had a bigger and better event this year, which includes a parade and family fun festival.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please remain standing as the color guard brings the colors past you. Thank you. And right behind the bars, we have Pahrum's finest, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. The Chief Scott Lewis and all the firemen and medics. I tell you what, folks, it'd be hard to run this community without these guys and girls.
Well, we started off with our 4th of July parade, starting at the Calvada, at Honeysuckle and Calvada, and we went around the Calvada Eye. We had 33 entrants into the parade this year, which is our biggest parade yet. Okay. And our Grand Marshal was Judge Kim Wonker, and she came down the parade route in her convertible, and it was a great day. We had the fire department, the sheriff's department, search and rescue. We had floats, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, the Kiwanis Club. We had motorcycles, we had horses. We just had a whole lot of fun. And now we're here at the Calvada Eye with the barbecue and family fun games and just having a great day. We have a overall judge's choice, and that went to a 44 Chevy, and beautiful car. And then we have most patriotic, most enthusiastic, most family friendly, and most patriotic.
Most original.
And most original, yes. And so we give 4 other trophies besides the overall winner. And we do that every year. We have the Sheriff's Auxiliary. They close down the streets for us, and they block them off, and they help us with the parade. And we have PDOP comes out and helps us, and so does Joe Sanitation, and they are a sponsor, and Heritage Bible is one of our big sponsors. They help us with our insurance and everything so we can put on this event.
Yeah.
And so we have some very good sponsors that help us put this event on. Yes, they can contact the Holiday Task Force at the holidaytaskforce.com, or they can call me, Linda Wright, at 775-419-7857.
Some real good news for those who are traveling for medical procedures.
That's right. That and much more health news you can use after the break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment is brought to you by Higher Society Smoke Shop in Las Vegas. Call 702-982-2300. Call 702-982-2300.
Well, we're going to have to get used to a new name of a new facility. It's called the Pahrump Community Health Center, and that broke ground this morning on Lola Lane, south of Basin Avenue. They say the 23,000 square foot facility is designed to address the immense health disparities suffered by the community. A 17,200 square foot facility with 16-bed surgical center will include 4 operating rooms and so much more.
Community Health Development Partners, and this facility is going to be Pahrump Community Health Center, being built by KHI and DWL Architects. This facility is 23,000 square feet with 4 operating rooms. It's going to be a great service to the community, and we're really looking forward to doing it. So there's a number of local contractors, subcontractors are going to be working for the builder. So Wolfenstein, they're going to be the first guys that are going to be breaking ground on this, and Floyd's Construction is one of them as well. So there's a various number of other local subcontractors as well. So the architectural is going to look very similar, modern Southwestern, but a big overhang, large entrance, and then waiting room, things like that. Timeline, we're looking approximately 18 months for the opening. Obviously, things can adjust left or right depending on the current economic situation that we're in with materials, labor, things like that are going to be obviously challenges we're going to have to overcome.
I was asked to participate and help consult for the surgical center that's going to be here, this ambulatory surgical center, and very pleased to do that. As you know, my passion has always been healthcare. I did healthcare in the assembly. It's just a great opportunity to continue to expand the healthcare services that Pahrumpians deserve and need here in Nye County. This will offer same-day surgeries like the hospital does, but in a much bigger scale. It's not going to compete with the hospital in the sense that it doesn't have a lab, it doesn't have radiology, and we're hoping to work out understandings and agreements with the hospital to be able to do that. In addition to surgeries that will have specialists coming out that may not be comfortable doing in a same-day surgical center, the hospital has fully equipped operating rooms that the specialists can then utilize.
We've been working with them for quite a while, working to bring power into here, and so we're looking forward to serving them with electricity. Mm-hmm. Also looking forward to serving them with broadband services. So this is a great project for Pahrump, and we look forward to being a part of that project. It'll be a good load, a lot of electricity used here. It's a very critical load. It's going to have energy 24/7, and so we look forward to working with them to make it reliable and as steady as we can.
First off, we've got a great place to continue to build our medical needs. This is a great plan, and we're sticking to it. Now we got another 2,300 square feet going, 23,000 square feet going in. It's amazing that we get to do this. We're lucky, Pahrump. We're really lucky. We spend a lot of time on the road as Nye County residents. Because it's such a large county, it's nice to not have to go to Vegas for everything. So this is going to meet some of those needs. Anytime you get to break ground or do a ribbon cutting, it's game on. It's very exciting to have our community be growing in the right way.
I am so excited. We're going to have some more healthcare options for our residents here. We definitely need them, and hopefully we'll have less trips to Las Vegas because we take care of it right here.
You know, Joel talked to me and his dad talked to me months and months ago about would I support something like this. Again, it's great to have a new surgical area where people can actually come to and get specific surgical things done that aren't being done currently today here in the Valley. So at least it's not as readily as available. But again, it's also right next to the hospital, so they can use the diagnostic equipment. I think they worked out something where they could work out that using of that equipment, and I think it's going to be a good deal.
Well, in today's health news, if you're like me and suffer from migraines, or if you know someone who does, you might have noticed that specific kind of headache tends to get worse during the summertime. And if you'd like to know why, here's a headache expert from Cleveland Clinic to explain.
Weather is a very important factor and element when it comes to migraine occurrence, especially around seasonal changes. So as we're going from winter into spring into summer, you have significant barometric pressure change.
For those unfamiliar, biometric pressure is the measurement of air pressure in the atmosphere and changes based on the temperature, altitude, and moisture. As these conditions shift, especially in extreme situations like a thunderstorm, it can impact a person's sinuses and can cause a migraine. Migraines are considered more painful than a typical headache and can lead to other symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and sensitivity to light. Dr. S.D. Malik says they offer various treatment options which can include medications, therapy, Botox, also dietary and other lifestyle changes. He says he understands how distressing migraines can be and emphasizes that a person does not need to suffer in silence.
The ones who really are prone to migraines tend to have it the worst, just because, again, when you get a bad one or a severe migraine and it's not managed quickly, again, you're really in a lot of discomfort and pain for anywhere between 4 and 72 hours, and you get the typical nausea, vomiting, lighter sound sensitivity. So it is really disabling.
Well, Darby is at Never Forgotten Animal Society to show a few dogs that are up for adoption right now.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Never Forgotten Animal Society, and today we are joined with a bunch of doggies, honestly, but these two with me right now is Lincoln. He's the one over on my left-hand side with the red collar, and this one is Wally. He's over here on the right. They are both Chihuahuas, and they are just two of the about 30 animals that Never Forgotten Animal Society took in from Desert Haven Animal Society when they had to close the shelter after Nye County took it back. So Never Forgotten has taken in around 30 plus animals to go and help clear out that shelter. Lincoln is upset because Pat, who works for Never Forgotten, is leaving, and that's his person. He chose her, so he's very attached. That is something that she did mention, is that these two get very, very attached to their people. They love people, and they choose you. So he's looking for his forever home. He thinks it's with Pat. But if you want to come and see Lincoln or Wally or any of their friends here at Never Forgotten Animal Society, they are located at 520 East Street, Unit C. You can give them a call at 775-537-8674. And you can also go on their website at neverforgottenanimalsociety.com. They also have a Facebook page too. This is Rerun. She is so excited to go home. She is some weird sort of wiener dog mix. She is so cute. Probably the biggest wiener dog I've ever seen. But Rerun's sister did just get adopted, so she's feeling a little left out, a little lonely, and she's just waiting for her forever home. She's super duper friendly, a lover for sure, and she just wants to go and cuddle up with you. So definitely come and see her.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, let's look outside. Look
No
at that
clouds.
beautiful sky. Yes, blue skies, and it's not too hot.
It's not. It's actually kind of tolerable.
Yes, light breezes, and we'll take a closer look at our forecast right.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Great to see you after this beautiful 3-day holiday weekend. I just put on the tie in case you didn't get enough red, white, and blue this weekend. And as we look at the weather map, let's think patriotic thoughts about Fernley and Fallon. Up there at 87, 89 degrees, good Americans. Carson City, 81 degrees. That's a cool spot in the state today. Tonopah was at 86, 85 in Goldfield. Beatty saw 94, 97 in Amargosa, but that wasn't the hot spot. Heck no, that's Las Vegas at 99 degrees, bumping up on triple digits and out there giving us inspiration for those triple digits. Death Valley at 109, but here in the paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look. Current temperature, 95 degrees. It was 96 just a little bit earlier. Winds out of the south-southwest all day long, about 15 miles per hour on that bone dry. Humidity at 12%. Need to do a little better than that, but you know, it's the desert. What are you going to do? Sun rose this morning at 5:32 and it's setting this evening at 8:04. Picked up another minute of night. Low tonight, 73 degrees. As we head down to that, we'll enjoy those winds at 12 miles per hour coming at us out of the southeast. And as we head on into the week, what do we see? We got another triple digit weather coming at us. Oh boy, look at this. We get a little break tomorrow, but it's heading right up into those triple digits. We're going to end up with 106 for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next. Clear skies throughout the week. We get a little cloud visiting us on Friday. We'll say hi and send it on its way Saturday because that's about all we get. One little cloud on Friday and those temperatures up in the triple digits all week long. Beautiful weather to enjoy if you love the desert weather. Man, we got something for you. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
It's getting warmer.
Yes, it is. And thanks, John, for warning us.
I know.
And speaking of being warm and outside, you're doing a neighborhood cleanup soon.
We are. We're doing a neighborhood cleanup, and that is going to happen with the Source Marijuana Dispensary. They contacted me and said, hey, what can we do around town to help out? They are opening soon. So we're going to be joining the Source employees and staff and everybody to have this neighborhood cleanup. That's going to happen this Saturday, and it's going to be from 9 a.m. until noon. You can meet us over there at the Bob Roode Community Center at 8:30 in the morning. We are asking the public to join us too because we're going to be making sure that everything is shining here in town, and so we want to do our part. Exactly. So we're going to have different kinds of trash bags, of course, and gloves and vests and things like that. But
Can
we are
anyone
asking
volunteer?
Yes. So you can volunteer. Yes. All you need to do is contact us through the Neighborhood Cleanup Facebook page, or you can give us a call, 775-299-9992. We're going to meet at the Bob Roode on the corner of Basin and Highway 160 at 8:30 in the morning. Come on down. It's going to be so much fun.
Yes.
All right. That's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio.
Have a great night.
Thanks so much. Good night.